the track.
To my YouTube channel. For those of you who don't know, it's your boy Vic Sling Hope. I got another video for y'all. This is a Rikers Island story, and this story is about how Crips be lining or setting other Crips up just for them to live. You know, self-preservation, I guess, right? Basically, every Crip ain't your Crip. But before I get into the video, you know, like the video. If you like the content, make sure you share it so other people could, you know, hear what I gotta say. And subscribe to the channel if you mess with my content. It's not a lot to ask, you know. So boom, right? I got my fair share of every Crip ain't your Crip when I first got to Rikers Island early on, right? But before I get into that, right? You know, like, you know, when you were cripping in the early 2000s, you know, like mid 2000s, like, you know, the early 2007s and 8s, and you know, you get what I'm saying. I used to be happy when I seen other Crips, because again, Crips in New York City are outnumbered by Bloods, right? By a lot. Maybe it has changed, I don't know, but back then it definitely was like that, right? So you had to be real thorough. So the funny thing is, when you become Crip, you don't really know who's Crip until you Crip. Like some of y'all that gangbang, y'all know that. You don't really know who Crip till you Crip and you create it out and you out there doing your thing. And this is when you just start to see like, damn, he was Crip too, he Crip too, he Crip too. That's just how it be. You don't know who's who till you start banging, right? It's just like you don't know who Blood till you start being Crip. And you got the crates and all that, right? That's when people start being like, oh shit, you a hardback? Like, you know, that's how she, you know, shit get, some of them do that. Some don't, but you know, that's how it get crazy. But anyway, when I used to see Crips back then, like when Crips used to see each other, they used to be happy to see each other back then, you know, because it was very crazy and turbulent in the streets for a Crip, right? Even in jail, right? So when Crips used to see other Crips, they used to be all love. It used to be like, oh shit, what's cracking? You know, it used to be like cheerfulness, right? So kind of like the same thing. I had the same mindset, but even though in the streets, you know, my set used to be set tripping, so it kind of like, I never really was on that kind of like set tripping shit, but I still kind of like was, you know, when I seen other Crips, especially if they was created up and they was doing their thing, like I love to see that, you know what I'm saying, because you had to be tough. So it just let me know, oh, they on their shit too, you feel me? Because the Crips that you see that don't really got crates out or don't really got whatever they got out, like you know, you tend to assume like, oh, he hiding, or he this, or he that. That was just the mindset, you know. But anyway, so boom, when I get to Rikers Island and I got to the house and I was talking in codes, and I said this in another video, and I was, you know, when I first got there, it was a lot of Crips in the reception house that I was in. So it kind of like felt good to see Crips, like, oh shit, there's a lot of Crips, you know, even though you hear all the stories about a lot of Bloods, you know, being on the island. So when I seen that it was a lot of Crips, I was like, oh shit, this what's up. And then when I even got to a house, when I got packed up and got to a house, and I realized like the first people that came to my cell, they were Crips, right? I was kind of, they was from Queens. They was G-Stone. At least that's what they called it back then. I don't know if they changed the name to Get Straight or A Do Straight. I don't know. But anyway, back then they was Jack and Gorilla. You know, it was G-Stone. So anyway, they pull up to my cell and they talking to me, right? So I'm kind of like, oh shit, it's Crips here, whatever. And I'm thinking it's gonna be all love, but it wasn't all love. You know what I'm saying? Because then this dude hit me with the like, what you think you're gonna be doing here? And I said this in another video, but I'm just going more in depth this time, right? So, and first of all, the first people that I heard say, you know, this line is Bloods, right? I heard Blood say every Blood ain't your blood. So I'm saying every Crip ain't your Crip, and every whatever other gang ain't whatever your other gang. You get what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, like I say, man, like it's the deception and all this shit. So it's like, it's almost like people see gang banging is like a job, right? It's like work. And when you go to work, there's certain people you don't like at your job. There's certain people you got a problem with at your job, but y'all all work for the same person. Y'all all under the same OG, which is the boss, right? Y'all all work together for the same common goal. but there's certain people you just don't like at work. You're gonna have your little crew of people at work that you're mad cool with. Y'all, y'all chop it up. Maybe y'all hang out outside of work. It's the same thing when it comes to gangbanging. When you gangbang in your set and you under the same boss OG, you're gonna have certain people that you fuck with, that you cool with, that y'all vibe out, and then you gonna have certain people that you don't like, and it's the same exact thing. So even within your set, you're gonna have people that you don't like, right? So so this is just I'm trying to give y'all insight to the mindset, right? So you have those issues within your set. Then you got those issues within your nation, whether it's the Blood Nation, the Crip Nation. You have those issues among sets. Sets got beef with other sets. So it's like, bro, for all of this, you might as well be by yourself, because you're always going to be having some type of issues and problems. So this is just the thing I'm trying to point out. So anyway, so when this dude in particular, he asked me what I'm going to be doing here, and he was just basically on some, it wasn't Crip love. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't about, oh, we repping the same shit. It wasn't about brotherhood. It wasn't about none of that. It was about, he had whatever other agreements with other people in the house. He had whatever other alliances that he had. And a lot of times, you see that a lot, right? You see Crips sometimes set other Crips up so they can live. A lot of Crips did this upstate, right? Up north, where the Bloods might have told you good, right? But any other Crip that come in here, we shooing them, or we getting them out the jail. And you as a Crip, right, as being part of the brotherhood, you were supposed to be like, nah, homie. Sometimes the Bloods will even use Crips to identify other Crips so the Bloods could cut them. This is just part of the game, the dirty game that was going on in prison. Like, just so Crips could live, just so certain Crips could be good. They was willing to sell out their own nation, their own brothers, just for their own survival. It's not worth it. But again, it's about self-preservation. Look, at the end of the day, it's every man for themselves. That's why a lot of dudes tell. That's why a lot of dudes backdoor you. That's why a lot of dudes set you up. Because when it all boils down, it's all about self-preservation and the laws of human nature. And everybody cares only about themselves. You got a few stupid people, and I call us stupid because I was stupid too. You got a few people who want to uphold the code and want to be loyal and want to be all of this shit and want to be considered a real nigga. And those people end up suffering. They end up suffering. You know why? Because when other people get the chance to save their ass over you, they do it all the time. They do it all the time. You know how many stories there is of Crips like locking in on other Crips and letting Crips get smoked? You know how many stories there is? I remember one time I went to the pen, I went to court. And once I realized that shit in the house, that every Crip ain't your Crip, I was like, all right, fuck these dudes. I wasn't jumping out the window. You know what I'm saying? Like, and the whole time I was just trying to get into the housing area where my other man's from the town. And a lot of times that's how it is. If you don't know these motherfuckers from the town, you can't even really trust them in jail. So why be a part of that shit? Why be a part of that shit? You can't even really fully trust these dudes. I done met dudes in jail that were Crip and they just happened to be from my neighborhood, and I just became wild cool with them. Again, because it's that familiarity of we from the same neighborhood type shit. I done met people that wasn't Crip and we was from the neighborhood. You know what I'm saying? So it's that, again, that familiarity of we from the same hood. You feel me? It was like that when I met Fizzy, like, you feel me, like RP. Like, I was never blood, you feel me? But when he realized I was from uptown, we was chopping, and I was like, oh shit, you from uptown too? And boom. It was, familiarity. So anyway, what I was gonna get at. So yeah, man, a lot of times, so one day I went to court. And when I went to court, it was this Crip dude. I think he was Grape Street or whatever. Yeah, he was Grape Street. And we was in the pens, and I was Crip too at the time. And I remember, like, he knew I was Crip, but I remember, like, this dude was, like, fake pressing him. Like, he was like, yo, what you jacking? I think it was some YB dude, or he was YG. This dude was YG. He was like, yo, what you jacking? And the dude was like, yo, I'm Crip. And some was like, nigga, Crips don't live here, nigga. Mind you, we in the bullpens. You know what I'm saying? So I'm sitting there. So when the dude said that to him, he just looked over at me. And I'm just like, I don't know why he looked at me. Like, because my mindset was already like, fuck these dudes. Like, these dudes every Crip ain't your Crip. I realized that shit as soon as my first night in the house. Crips showed me that, bro, just because you Crip don't mean you gonna be good, homie. Crips showed me that. So my mindset was like, oh, I'm not jumping out the window for these dudes. So, and dude was talking to him like, I don't know why he even looked at me. So when he looked at me, I was just like, yeah, he ain't gonna survive. You feel me? Like, the dude ended up not doing nothing because he basically punked him, and the dude didn't really say nothing. He didn't stand up for himself. He didn't fight. Maybe if he fought and maybe other dudes jumped in, maybe I might have got in it. But a lot of times, man, you gotta observe your surroundings and you gotta peep game, and then you just gotta move accordingly. And that's just life, period. You know, and jail's a more confined space, but that's when I recognize that, right? In the streets, it's a little more open, but in the streets, people do that too. And nowadays, I don't know how the gang and the Crip and the blood shit go nowadays. I'm an old head now. But yeah, I'm pretty sure it's probably still the same shit. It's about self-preservation, and it's like, it's always gonna be like that. So this video was just basically about, again, you know, I'm very strongly against joining these movements, because even though there might be some partial benefits to it, there's way more harm and cons than there's pros. So that's just my whole thing. That's just like, if you're gonna have problems at work, right? Like I said, if you're gonna have problems in your set with certain people, aka work, if you're gonna have problems in under this organization, if you're gonna have problems in this nation, then what's the point of joining? Just to get a little benefit and a lot of hardship. That's just the point of the video, man. Everybody's not gonna be who you think they are, man. You're gonna like 2, 3, 4, 5 people, but the rest of them motherfuckers are gonna be plotting on you. They will snitch on you. They will give you up to save their ass. And if y'all go to jail, some of them might even set your ass up just so they could live. So that's just, hey, you make the decision if you want. But that's the end of the video. Like, comment, subscribe, and share. And let me know y'all thoughts in the comment section. And y'all be good, man. Y'all stay blessed. Peace.